Hey guys and girls, today I'm going to change the spark plugs on the 323. I've driven it about 120, 130 miles or so, and things seem to be fine. I could do another compression check. I'm a little bit worried about that, but I think probably I will do a compression check before I put the spark plugs back in. So I'm going to do the compression check the same way as I did before, all the spark plugs out, and just cranking it, not flooring the throttle to open up the throttle body or anything like that. And we'll see if the compressions are kind of similar across the board. I'm thinking they won't be. And I think if this head gasket fails again, that's probably gonna be it for this car. So let's get to it. All right, let's get this old pinky over here. And I'll probably change the spark plug wires in the cap and rotor if I need to, but I know for sure them spark plugs need to be changed. So we're gonna start with that. As we diagnose that little stumbling it has at idle. It's kind of like a motorcycle, but not for the same reasons. All right, let's peel these babies out. Doesn't really matter which holes they go back into, but, well, I'm sorry. Doesn't really matter which holes are coming out of because they're not going back in. But I'll keep them in order just for you. Seems like I need another extension. All right, now we got the extensions going. Didn't put them in there super tight. It's not really required. That cylinder's still a little bit gravelly coming in and out. All right. She's looking a little hot. And that is an NGK BPR5EGP. I don't know if that's the right spark plug at all, but I got the one from O'Reilly's they said was the right one. So let's see if that fixes the problem or causes new problems or what happens. I think those replacement spark plugs might be 5/8. That one looks a little hot too. Well, at least they're not burning oil and burning water, right? This is going to be a hot compression check. The other one was a cold compression check. Also looks a little hot, right? So, just FYI, if we're not making compression now, with the engines already warmed up, it ain't never going to make compression. Now, the reason why I got all these spark plugs out, because it'll make less compression if there was a fail in the gasket between the two cylinders, right? I know we just replaced it, but yeah, see, that one's a little hot too. All right, let's get the old compression checker on there. We'll do it the same as before, just hand tight. Gotta make sure I find the right adapter again. I think it was this one. In case you're ever wondering, if you want to know if the threads are right, you can put the threads up to two things. If they mesh, perfectly, that's how you're going to know the threads are close. I'm not going to say that's 100%, but it's a pretty good little way to check if you're not sure. If you're rummaging through a drawer looking for bolts or one of those kinds of scenarios, right? So just maybe that'll help somebody. All right, get this little adapter screwed in. There we go. There it is. Now, is the camera angle going to be right? I don't know. Can you see it? Let's see if we can zoom it in. All right, this is what I got for you. So I'm gonna crank her, see what happens. That first cylinder had good pressure before. I expect it to continue to have good pressure. I saw that gauge flip out of the way. That's okay. It should hold. So we're looking at about 140. Let me move to the next. All right, let's do the next cylinder. You can see it's from here to here. Hopefully it will stay in place. Maybe it won't. Cranking it. Yep, that pressure's still down, but it's at about 110 or so. Not the worst I've ever seen. Let's hope the other ones are around that level as well, not down at like 40 or whatever. Plus, I didn't tighten this line in the cylinder, so you can gig me on that if you want. Let's see if we can get this one to go in smoothly. This one's the one that had a little bit of trouble with the threads. No, it's going in smooth. Okay, this is the one of the ones that had really low pressure. Let's see what happens. I think it was like 40 or 60 or something. Hey, we brought it up. So, you know, that head gasket, that's the difference of the head gasket for sure. You can refer back to the old video, but this one's running about 120 now. I like that sound. It's one of those little simple pleasures in life. Let me get that last cylinder in. If she's anything over 100, I'm gonna feel pretty good about this car's longevity. And what I'll do is change nothing. I'm going to put those new spark plugs in regardless. Look what I did just notice though. That line, I never put this back on, but also it's cracked. So I need a new hose right here. I'm gonna make one of those before I test drive it again. All right, back to the task at hand. We don't actually have ADHD over here. For you, those of you who do, I know the struggle's real, but I don't. So back on task, cranking it. I can see it from here. 140, 135. So she checks out with cylinder pressure. In my opinion, that's pretty good. Damn, my gauge is getting ruined here. Let me go ahead and get set up and fix this. I just grabbed this hose from the car. It might be too big, but yeah, I think that 5/8 is too big. I'll see if I can find a more suitable hose, but if not, I'll use this and clamp it on good. Okay, let's get this off real quick. That was easy. Those some of these cars, you know, you take the PCV out or you take the you know, the filler cap off, and then the engine won't run, right? So this could be causing me some issues. So anyways, this hose is way too big. Maybe not. First thought, I thought it was way too big, but maybe I could just clamp it down pretty good. It's about right for that side. I know this is going to be way too small to fit on there, but I could probably force it onto the intake side. So let me see what can be done. I'm going to keep searching for parts because this it's like a hard line, or it probably was rubber at one time, but now she's hard. Here's what I got. I'm going to force this one into this smaller hose, and I'll use the bigger hose on the other side because there's two different sizes, one a smaller size here and a larger size here. So this is what I'm going to have to do. See, I can stick that in here, and you know, we got an adapter setting going. So I'll show you when that's done. I think it's going to take some time. I don't have a million years of battery life on this GoPro, but I'll bring you back when that's done, and then we'll throw the spark plugs in and turn it on and see how it sounds. How it's coming along. I don't want to kink it, so I'm gonna have to cut it about like right here, loop it around. But we're doing the thing. Trying to get rid of vacuum leaks, if that's indeed what's happening there. I blew on it, it does hold pressure. That's a PCV, you're hearing that other noise. Anyhow, looping it back like that. We'll zip tie it down to this bracket, and I think that's going to solve that little issue. I got a hose clamp. It's probably overkill, but it's better than underkill. Better than underkill. Damn it. Here we go. Tighten this up a little bit more with this big screwdriver. Okay. We need to fix all the little problems so we can move on to the major stuff here. Okay, alright. Kind of like that. Just going to hold that in place. Hopefully this will start tightening. Nope. Get some more slack out of this. I'm sorry for the camera angle, but I keep stopping at just the camera. I never get anything done. Okay, that should do it. That's about how we want it. Seems like that one on the intake's loose too. Dang, did I tighten anything on this car? Probably not. I just got excited and went for a test drive. You know how it goes. I'm sure if you've ever done this before, you know how it goes. We don't want to go too tight because that's plastic. That's all it's hitting into here. It's probably enough right there. Get a zip tie that down, and now I'm going to get the spark plugs going back in. I did notice there was a zip tie on this heater hose that was kind of tight as well when the engine was hot. So we're going to cut that. We can put another one on it. I don't need a zip tie biting into my upper radiator hose, killing it. That wire ain't going anywhere anyways. It doesn't have enough slack to hit anything. Okay, let's see what we can do. Just through here. Looks legit to me. I could go off of this, but it's not gonna make a difference, to be honest. Now, what about this one? All right, we need to tighten that one up. Now that wouldn't cause any performance issue other than sucking dirt in instead of everything being forced through the filter. All right, let's get the spark plugs in now. Now this is what O'Reilly's has for me. I've already checked these. These are, of course, NGK. And there we go. There's the number. Here's the old number. BPR5EGP. BPR5EGP. Same spark plug. All right. I think those other spark plugs were just cooked. See, brand new spark plug from the abuse of having to run that engine the way it was running. But we're fixing stuff, don't worry. Next we'll move on to other things, but for now, that's what we got. NGK. I'm gonna have to make a thumbnail here, I think. Let me see if I can. Those threads are a little goofy. See if I can get a good shot here, like this, and then like this. All right, that's probably enough of that. Let's get the work done. How about this one? And down here, new spark plugs. Yeah, that's probably better because you can actually see the spark plug. We'll make that the thumbnail. These aren't tight yet, don't worry. We'll get the ratchet on it. I just want to get the thread started like this, so I'm not monkeying on it like a fool. We'll save these, you never know. All right. Throw everything on the ground that we don't need. There we go. Yep, that'd probably do it. Yep. Yep. There we go. Don't worry, I'm not pushing too hard. It might look like it, but nah. All right, that's that. We're on the home stretch now, boys. Positive engagement. Positive. These are a little loose. I probably could stand for some new spark plug wires too. There we go. Get on there. Oh yeah. Just giving them extra little push. All right. We gotta change camera angle because psychology says people like different camera angles. All right, let's fire her up. Got a vacuum leak fixed and new spark plugs. think I probably got it. Let's check out the business end here. See what you think. I'll come back and check the footage and see if it was blowing smoke or anything. All right, I'm gonna drive this baby some more. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and leave a comment, and I'll see you on the next one.